Hey everybody, and welcome back to our Solaire playthrough of Dark Souls in 1080p, 60 frames per second. This is, of course, Solaire himself. Well, not really. We actually had to kill Solaire, unfortunately, to get all of his gear, but that's the way it works. This is a new game, and we're continuing onward. We're alternating between discussing game design elements from the perspective of the player and relationships, like real-life relationships. I know, those things don't immediately seem connected, but they are in a way, because everything's connected in a way. Alright, so up here is where we're going to join the Warriors of Sunlight Covenant, I believe it's called, but we need to have, I think, what is it, either 25 faith or 25 faith minus 5 times the number of times we've helped someone in PvP. Or I'm sorry, in PvE. So what we'll do is we'll drop our summon sign outside the gargoyle area, and then we'll come back to tackle Havel and see if maybe anyone summons us. I have a pretty good feeling they won't, simply because, I mean, the PC version only had a substantial community in it when it first began, when it was brand new. Because, first of all, I mean, it was a really, really terrible port in terms of performance. And so, I think that put off a lot of people from playing the game. And a lot of people didn't. Oh shoot, that was way too early. And a lot of people didn't buy it because of what they heard about it. And then, of course, yeah, this guy's gonna get us. There we go. And also the fact that it was out for what, a year before it came to PC. So communities had already established themselves on the other platforms first, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it works sometimes. I keep forgetting we have the heal spell. I gotta remember that. I will kill these guys just in the hopes that maybe they'll give us a Titanite shard, because we do still need Titanite shards for our shield and for our armor. What I might want to do is go ahead and spend my souls next time I get a good amount on some Titanite shards and upgrade my shield next. Having better stability on the shield is super useful when you plan on actually blocking stuff with it. Oh, the normal spot where people put their summon sign is actually typically right here. So we'll go ahead and drop it there. And then we'll head on out to see if we can get to... Well, hello there. See if we can get to Havel. Although, we're not going to make it all the way to Havel with our summon sign still there. At some point, relatively soon here, the summon sign is going to fade. But I just thought we'd drop it and give it a minute or two and see if anyone picked it up. Excuse me. Also, I'm in U.S. Eastern Standard Time Zone, and right now it's very early morning. Some people would call this late in the night, you know, because it's past midnight. It's actually 3 in the morning right now, and it's not a prime time for players to be online. I would like to orchestrate things with people I know in person, but oh wow, that was a lot faster than I expected. So maybe there are more people playing online, just not as many people dropping summon signs as I would like. Let's do that for this playthrough. Let's drop lots and lots of summon signs as much as possible. This guy clearly is what appears to be Russian. Looks like the Cyrillic alphabet? I'm not sure what that's called, sorry. If I'm making mistakes in what I call it, please let me know. You know, I've never tried an Alluring Skull on a boss. I would imagine it doesn't work because I just can't help but think that that would make it way too easy to kill the bosses if you can just distract them with Alluring Skulls. Excuse me. I also have to remember that I cannot heal with Estus in this game. I don't have lightning, unfortunately. That would be super useful right here. Oh, shoot! This guy is not in New Game. This guy is not in New Game. He is definitely not in New Game. Alright, so it looks like this might be his first time through here, so he may have to roam around and grab some items. Well, not have to, but he will. That was a little lag we experienced. That happens. Unfortunately, that actually happens when you're the host, believe it or not. You can lag in your own game when you're the host if you have a summon with you, which is just odd to me. Seems like you, of all people, shouldn't be lagging, given that you're hosting the game. After this, we'll go tackle Havel to get Havel's ring, and then we already have the Ring of Favor and Protection on, obviously. It's nice to have the whole set from Solaire, so we're good on that end. That's why that's one of the reasons I chose the Solaire cosplay, because you can get it early on. Other cosplays, I simply had to go to New Game Plus, and what I don't like about doing that is I basically have to play through the entire game from start to finish, then I can start doing the playthrough, and that's just a significant, you know, I end up spending, wait, where'd the guy go? Did he already run back? Did he not want to pick up that humanity over there? Anyway, I don't want to waste 12 to 15 hours just playing to get to New Game Plus before I could start my playthrough, so whatever. Maybe he went past me and I didn't see it. Oh yeah, he did, okay. I must have missed it. I guess I was thinking he would definitely go get that humanity first. I'm going to mash the start button here. It will not skip this cutscene unless the host also chooses to skip it. So don't worry about hitting the start button. You're not going to cheat the host out of anything. Oh, I meant to roll. Uh-oh, I need to move because fire's coming my way. Yep, there it is, see? And we're healed up. Oh, you notice because of the lag, it actually showed him slightly healing as I was hitting him. That's just an effect of the lag. He didn't actually get healed on that. Okay, I wanted to make sure we cut his I wanted to make sure we cut his tail off for him, just in case he wanted the gargoyle tail axe. Well done, me. You know, we get some souls for it and some humanity, so it's not a total loss on our part. Let's put our sign back down in hopes we get another one. I believe if we get another one, we'll be good to go on joining the Covenant. So that may have we may have gotten lucky in how quickly we got that summon, or that may be the speed at which we can expect to get a couple more. Who knows? Who knows? So we'll see. I'm not in a super rush to get into that Covenant, but I'd like to do it sooner rather than later, obviously, because I want to, as quickly as possible, that's him ringing the bell, of course, I want to, as quickly as possible, get the lightning spell. Today's drink of choice, which I slurped very audibly there, is black coffee hot. That's it. It's a little cooler than I would like it to be. Simply, yeah, see, the summon sign disappears right there. It's cooler than I would like it to be, or like, you know, not as hot as it should be, simply because when I first reset my computer after doing some updates, and after going through updates to all the devices on my motherboard, because they'd been updated this month from MSI, I found out that there was a crash that happened with the Realtek audio drivers. So the reason that happened is because I was installing so many things at once that I didn't realize one of the installation processes asked me to restart, and it was going to continue after the restart. Well, I didn't realize that. So when I restarted and it booted back up, I was installing something else, then restarted again before the other installation completed after the restart. So long story short, it didn't complete properly, and it didn't recognize the audio ports on my front panel on my computer, so I wasn't able to use my headphones or plug in my headphone microphone, which I'm not using anyway. I'm using the Blue Yeti USB microphone. Let's do bass. There we go. Yep, we just need one more We need 3 more levels up in Faith or 1 more assistance in PvE, defeating a boss. Also, I believe I should have waited to buy the repair box, because I think the repair box is 1,000 souls cheaper if I get it from Andre versus the Undead Merchant. So obviously that would have been preferable to buy it at 1,000 souls cheaper, particularly this early on in the game when 1,000 souls... Wow, look how fast he moved. That's a very rare movement for that character. I almost never see him do that, but he comes at you real quick and attacks, and I'm almost inclined to think that it's a frame rate thing, because when you change the frame rate in this game, some little physics act funny. The dragon should be coming after us. Yeah, let's get downstairs. So I think what probably happened right there is the frame rate was a little off, and the dude looked like he just moved super fast, because I've never seen it happen on the consoles. But let me know if you guys have seen that move of his. I mean, it's nothing super special, but it's just a little different than what you normally see. We're going to have quite a heck of a time trying to defeat Havel with just a +5 Sunlight Straight Sword, given our build. But we can give it a shot. Maybe put some, you know, gold pine resin on it. Get some lightning effect out of it. We shall see. I'm pretty sure you can buff this weapon, because as it is, there's no special bonus on it. Let's find out, shall we? The way to find out if a weapon can be buffed is to, just like that, put it on your hotbar, and if it's not grayed out, then you can use it. So I'll unequip it just so that we don't accidentally hit it. Up in the corner, I keep this visible. It doesn't have to be visible, but I just choose to do so. The GPU percentage used, which it usually hangs around somewhere between like 40 and 60 some percent. Memory usage, that's video memory, not system memory. It says D3, D9, that means it's using DirectX 9. Then that's the frame rate after it, 72 FPS. I run it at 72 because my computer monitor, or my monitor actually runs at a total of 144 Hertz. So 72 is half of that. If you can, what's the word? Perfectly divide the frame rate by, if your maximum refresh rate on your monitor is a certain division of your frame rate, I think I'm saying this correctly, or is it divisible by your frame rate? That's the language. If it's divisible by your frame rate, then it'll just look smoother and it won't have some of the stutter and lag issues, or I don't know exact words, but like frame timing issues that you would have otherwise. So if I'm running at 72, that looks better than even 75 or 80, because 72 is half of 144. So 72 looks better than even like 120 would look. However, I have a G-Sync monitor, so none of that matters as much, because G-Sync monitors, and we're going to talk a little bit more about frame rate, frame timing in this episode. It's a continuation of the last discussion we had, and we're going to do it somewhat dispassionately without getting too worked up or angry. Angry comments may be deleted, so just, you know, make sure to relax and have fun with it and have some conversation. You can disagree with each other, that's cool, but just don't call it like, oh, you're a growl, you care about graphics, oh, shut up, dude, you're a loser, you don't know anything. Go learn yourself something. You know, that kind of stuff we're not going to get into. But G-Sync is a great technology, and the equivalent on the other end is AMD's FreeSync. I prefer G-Sync, not only because I've been using NVIDIA graphics cards, but because... Oh, that was so close to me. Wow. Because G-Sync works by having a piece of hardware in the monitor, in your monitor, that syncs up the monitor's refresh rate to the frame rate that your graphics card is pumping out. Yeah, this is going to take a while. So basically what it means is that if your graphics card is pumping out 72 frames per second, then essentially your graphics card is telling the monitor to run at approximately somewhere around 72 Hertz. So it's refresh. That's not an exact number. I know the science doesn't work exactly that way, but it's basically refreshing the monitor at the same rate that the frames are being produced by the graphics card. This prevents you from having to turn on VSync and getting stutter, and it also prevents screen tearing, which looks absolutely terrible, and it's something I do not tolerate screen tearing. I can't. I hate it, and I will never tolerate it. So I find it unacceptable for gaming. Some people don't mind it so much, but I do. We don't get enough benefit from the pine resin to worry about using it. So instead of wasting the pine resins, I'm just going to keep hitting him. I want to keep that pine resin for later for something else. This is essentially how you handle him. You can parry him, and I wouldn't mind doing so, but you got to make sure that you've got at least medium armor or high health. Because if you've got light armor and your health isn't very high, you don't have a lot of points of vitality, if you miss your parry, he'll kill you in one shot. So that's why I've learned not to parry him, because many of my other builds were dexterity based and had light armor, so I was actually at risk of a one-shot kill if I missed a parry, and that just wasn't worth it to me. Now at this point, it's not worth a parry because he's dead in one more shot, and actually we'll just kill him like this. And that's that. So it wasn't too bad, it just took a long time. We had to maintain our accuracy there. And Havel's Ring. So notice even with Havel's Ring, we're still not fast rolling. However, we're at 31.4 and 113.4. You know, I didn't bring my calculator in here, and I don't have my cell phone on me. So anyway, let's do this. 25% of 100 is 25, and 25% of 10 is 2.5, so that's 27.5. So yeah, we need to be about a little bit below, what, 28 or so in order to do that, so that's not a big deal. We'll get some more points into endurance, but in the meantime, since we don't actually enjoy a benefit from Havel's Ring, since it doesn't push us up to the next threshold, we could actually equip any other ring, because right now we're not actually enjoying any benefits of Havel's Ring. Even though it did increase our equipment load, because we didn't reach the next threshold point, it doesn't change anything about us. Like, we're not fast rolling, it doesn't allow us, we don't need to equip anything else in addition to it. So in actuality, if we had another useful ring to equip, we would go ahead and equip that instead and wait until Havel's Ring plus the endurance we have gained at that point, the additional points, allowed us to fast roll. I hope that makes sense. It's a threshold issue. Until we're able to fast roll with the Havel's Ring is essentially useless for us right now. Because, like I said, it's not pushing us up to the next point of rolling faster. What I'm going to do, I was thinking of going to get the Wolf Ring, but I don't think we'll need that, is I'm going to try to get another summon from off the gargoyles. Because that would be really awesome. In order to help assist us in maybe getting a summon faster, we can go ahead and drop one right here. Although if we get summoned here, there's a chance that the host may die before we make it to the boss, so that it'll take significantly longer to make it to the boss. We're probably going to lose it right here. No. Right here? Oh no, wow, it keeps the summon there. Okay. Let's actually put that white sign soapstone here, so we can access a little faster. And let's pop it right here. Ooh, awesome. And while we're coming back this way, we're also going to make a move towards Andre Vestor to get some Titanite shards to start upgrading our shield. Nice try. Bam! I love how fast you can parry and riposte. Did you see that? I mean, it's just split-second accuracy. Like, boom, as soon as you get the parry, you can do the riposte. As soon as you can hit your attack button, the riposte is available. I love that. It's not like in Dark Souls 2 where there's this awkward delay. I know I criticize Dark Souls 2 a lot, but for good reason. I just think it's... I think overall it's not... I disagree with my original review. I got caught up in some of the hype, and even though most people would consider me a Dark Souls 2 hater, I actually did kind of get caught up in the hype, and I made assumptions that my problems with the game would be ironed out, or that I would get used to it or something. So I've long considered redoing that review, but at the same time, I just don't want to bother with the game anymore. So I wouldn't enjoy redoing the review, and I think by now most people who care about my opinion know it very well. And besides, more people would just be like, why did you redo the review? Just to be more critical and hate on the game more? You're such a hater. You're the worst person in the Souls community. We hate you. Blah, blah, you know, trolls. Trolls are trolls. So anyway, back onto the issue of frame timing, frame rates, and G-Sync. G-Sync is a hardware solution to coordinating the timing between your monitor and your graphics card. Now, here are the biggest issues with G-Sync that are deal breakers for some. Number one, you absolutely have to have an NVIDIA graphics card. NVIDIA or it doesn't work. So you cannot choose any other graphics card. And let's face it, there are only really two graphics card companies, NVIDIA and AMD. That's it. Intel makes their HD graphics chipset, but it is super, super anemic. It is very weak. It's only for really like playing HD videos, browsing the web, and playing very, very simple games like Minecraft and whatnot. It's not a gaming graphics chipset by any stretch of the imagination. And if you buy AMD, well, you know, it won't work. So what you end up doing is you end up having to, number one, buy an NVIDIA graphics card, which you may already have. I already had one. And number two, you have to get a G-Sync compatible monitor. I have one. I have a dual monitor setup. My primary monitor is the one I game on. It's G-Sync. The other monitor is not G-Sync, although they're both 144 hertz. So it's a equal refresh rate. I didn't want two different monitors with two different refresh rates. I felt like that was causing issues. I can't guarantee you it was, but I thought I saw some issues with that. But once you do that, what ends up happening is you're now locked in. You are now locked in to an NVIDIA graphics card and to that monitor. So if you later decide that you just found another monitor you want to use, if it's not G-Sync, well, then you lose your G-Sync. If you decide that, hey, AMD's got this awesome new graphics card, well, if you buy that graphics card, you've now essentially made your G-Sync monitor purchase useless because you can't take advantage of the G-Sync module in the graphics card or in the monitor anymore, and you spent like pretty much an extra $100 on that monitor specifically for G-Sync. So you basically just wasted that money. You have to now limit yourself to NVIDIA's ecosystem. So you have to match monitor to graphics card. For some people, that's not a big deal. Like me, I've been sticking with NVIDIA for a while now, mainly for shadow play, but also because I just like their cards. I have good experiences with them. I like their habit of updating drivers. I like the options they have in their control menu. And I'm so used to them now that I'm just familiar with their ecosystem and how it works. Also, I have an NVIDIA Shield. So that works with the NVIDIA graphics card as well and allows me to stream PC games to the Shield so I can play them in bed while my wife's there watching me play them in bed. Wondering why we're not doing other things. But anyway, then I also have NVIDIA graphics card because of the G-Sync monitor now. So I'm quite well invested into the NVIDIA ecosystem. And in some ways, NVIDIA kind of mirrors Apple in that they basically want to push you into limiting yourself to their little walled-off garden of products, more so than AMD. And I don't necessarily like that, but that's the way it is, and that's what's working for me, so I guess I'll just kind of deal with it. AMD is more about open platforms. Like when they released Mantle, which was basically their version of what was going to be DirectX 12, Mantle's pretty much dead now at this point because, you know, developers don't want to leave the DirectX ecosystem. They want to stick with DirectX, and DirectX 12 is giving pretty much similar or better performance than Mantle. So at this point, there's no reason to rely on Mantle. But AMD was allowing Mantle to be an open source. It was an open source for others to use, like NVIDIA. And AMD's FreeSync, which is their version, which is kind of like their version of G-Sync, is a software solution that they have opened up to others to use, even though NVIDIA has not taken advantage of it yet. I found that FreeSync it didn't work for me. I don't know if it's because I had an NVIDIA graphics card and that's why, but anytime I tried to use adaptive refresh rates in any games with my NVIDIA graphics cards, I've tried it with 3 different cards, it did not work. I saw screen tearing. I absolutely saw screen tearing. For those of you that don't know what screen tearing is, it's when basically there are 2 separate frames on your monitor at the same time, and they're not in sync. So say, for example, you're moving the camera like this, like, boom, if you were to stop it and look, you would very visibly see that pillar in the background. Those pillars would be off. Like, the top part of the pillar would be, say, 5-6 pixels to the left of the bottom part of the pillar, and they wouldn't even look connected because of, quote, screen tearing. One frame that's drawn on the top part of the screen is different from the frame that's still on the bottom part of the screen. That becomes a major issue. I absolutely cannot play a game with screen tearing. It just bothers me way too much. Some gamers are used to it, they don't mind. They're like, I can deal with it. I just don't want to turn on VSync because of the stutter and the input lag. I would rather deal with the stutter and input lag of VSync than see screen tearing. But VSync is not perfect because of the stutter and lag. It really does kind of hurt your experience visually and otherwise. So they're both trade-offs. You have to sacrifice. G-Sync allows you to basically say, you know what? I want the benefits of VSync without the negatives, and I want the benefits of not having VSync without the negatives. I want the benefits of all of it. I want all of it. I want to have my cake and eat it too, and leave some left over in the fridge for tomorrow. That's what G-Sync lets you do. G-Sync lets you have it all, pretty much. You know what I'm going to do, guys? I really want to go get the Divine Ember right now. The only thing that's kind of holding me back is I don't have anything to upgrade it with. I could get the Divine Ember, but I don't have any green Titanite shards to use right now, so it would kind of be pointless. I'm trying to think of the earliest place in the game I could go get one. Probably in Blighttown, I would suppose. Gimme, 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 gimme your Titanite shards, thank you. Let's reinforce the Sunlight Shield until it's maxed. We're gonna have to buy one more Titanite shard to max it out. See, told you. I know what I'm doing, guys. I know what I'm doing here. I've been doing it for a while. Alright. Boom! Alright, that's great. We've upgraded the two most important things. So, what we could do now is buy one of these. We know we're going to use this armor for the rest of the game. So, even though it's not terribly important, we can start upgrading our chest piece.
Well,
Upgrade the chest piece first, because that's the first piece, or that's the piece that you'll get the most benefit from usually, or the leggings, it depends. I upgrade in this order. The chest piece, then the leggings, then either the arms or the head, it doesn't matter. Either one can give you equal benefit, it just depends on the armor set. So at that point, I'm all about, let's do this. I'm all about either one at that point, but chest piece, leggings, then the other two. The order in which you should upgrade anything, ever, in this game, this pretty much applies to no matter what it is, no matter what kind of build you have, is upgrade your weapon, then your shield, then your chest piece, then your leggings, then the other two. But your weapon is leagues more important than your shield, and your shield is leagues more important than your armor. Basically. Far, far more important. There's a huge difference in the benefit of upgrading your sword or your weapon than there is in upgrading any other part, and there's a much bigger difference in upgrading your shield than upgrading your armor. Armor will slowly, as you upgrade it, decrease the amount of damage that you take, which is important, but not as important as upgrading your shield, which allows you to take more, which allows you to block more hits without losing your stamina. So it's much, much more valuable to upgrade your shield than it is your armor. I do have a mod installed that makes these summon signs look all nice and beautiful in HD, high resolution. So if you look at them right here, they look pretty crisp and clear, at least on my screen. I know after this is recorded with Shadowplay, then it's rendered out in Sony Vegas, and then it's compressed by YouTube. It won't look nearly as sharp, but that's one of the mods I use. You know, I'm so used to Bloodborne sometimes that I actually at times try to charge up my attacks in this game, but that's a Bloodborne only kind of thing. Ooh. Nice try, buddy. Titanite shard, that's useful. I can make use of that. Alright, if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. Gotcha. And we'll go get that one up here. Alright, well if no one summons us right away here, we'll go ahead and keep going. We already took care of Havel, so. Because we can try to get a summon for any other boss. It doesn't have to be the gargoyles, obviously. But yeah, if you're in the AMD family, then G-Sync is not an option for you as long as you have an AMD graphics card. So you're not going to be able to go that route. unless you decide to go ahead and purchase an NVIDIA graphics card. If anyone ever asks me which one I recommend, I used to tell them whichever one they think gives them the best deal, whichever one is giving them the most bang for your buck. But at the same time, there are other factors to consider. It's not just performance versus price. Those are some of the most important, but also to consider features like G-Sync or FreeSync or the NVIDIA Shield and live streaming, NVIDIA Shield and game streaming, game recording with shadow play, game streaming with shadow play, and shadow play is about to get a whole lot better because before it's still in beta, and I use it for almost all of my recordings that you see on this channel and my main channel. But now they're going to give it an actually really good, useful user interface that you can access in-game. Because up until now, basically you could just use a couple hotkeys to do things and that was it. Now they're going to make it so that it's going to have an interface that you can interact with that allows you to do everything you need to do. That wasn't previously the case. It's not, I don't know if it's in place yet actually. I need to... The new drivers just came out in preparation for Metal Gear Solid 5, which is already out by the time you're seeing this. So I'm going to go ahead and see if that is available in the options menu now to turn on the now in-game interface for recording, streaming, capturing, all that stuff. Gorgeous view ahead. Punk. Alright. We can head down to get the large... not the large... we're looking to get the large, we still need the large, gosh darn, I can't even think, the very large ember, not large ember. Or no, it's the large ember, I think. We still need the basic large ember, even though we're using the divine path on our Sunlight Straight Sword, we need the regular path in order to upgrade the shield and our armor. You can upgrade a shield into the divine path, but I can't possibly see any reason why you would. Just follow the normal path. It gives you all the stability and everything that you want and extra block and... Hello? Is the dragon not going to come? That happens every now and then. He doesn't come. And the reason I don't like this is because now I'm terrified that if I start walking down this platform, the dragon will approach, and by the time I see it, and I'll be too far down the platform to turn back around, and I'll be too far down the platform, too far back on the platform to make it all the way. You can get like screwed over if you're in the middle. You'll just get hit. Well, here we go. Here's to hoping. Run! I keep saying dragon. I know it's a drake, technically. So, forgive me. I'm not used to where to get the green titanite shards, so I may have to look that up. Just so I can figure out the quickest way to get them as early as possible so we can start our divine path on this thing. Once we do that, we won't have to worry so much about upgrading our strength and dexterity. I want to focus on vitality, endurance, and faith right now, and the sooner I can get a faith bonus on this sword, the sooner we'll get a benefit from our faith stat on the sword. Take that, dog. And last one. Oop, I was slightly off on the timing there. He got me before I could get him. He got me. He got me. Hopefully I can one-shot these guys. We'll see. No, darn it. I don't know if I'll be able to hit it again. Let me try this. Whoops. There we go. Well, let me try R2 on this guy. Nope, that didn't kill him either. But at least they now only take one shot each. Oh, come on. Both of you guys I don't drink like that, really? Oh, that was risky. He could have parried me. Okay. Now it all worked out in the end. Mail breaker. I should do a mail breaker playthrough just for fun. Just to be stupid. We don't quite fully feel like Solaire until we get some lightning on this thing. Am I right, guys? Am I right or am I right? You got two options. I'm either right or I'm right. Oh, that one dude just like flew up into the air, so he's stuck up there now. We don't have to worry about him unless he like tosses stuff at us. Oh, that was dangerous. I think he might have been able to one-shot me if he did a parry. They can also backstab you if you're not careful. And then you get the Thief's starting set minus the Bandit's Knife, which you have to farm off those dudes. Let's see here. Well, actually, you know what? We should have dropped one of these summon signs much earlier. That way give people much more of a chance to pick it up and see us. We'll go ahead and drop that there, and then we'll open up the shortcut and hope it stays there for as long as possible. Oops, that was way too early. There we go. I'm debating whether to kill the Gaping Dragon. I think we might go ahead and pass on it because I don't think we'll do a large amount of damage. And the Gaping Dragon is really just a... It's just a sponge for taking damage. You just have to keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. The Gaping Dragon is easiest if you can do massive amounts of damage, like if you have a big strength weapon with high strength. Not even sure. I think the summon sign will disappear as soon as we cross this threshold, I believe. Yeah, yep, oh, that's right. Alright, so here we can buy 2 of these. And you know what? We're not going to buy that. I just thought about this because we're not going to be able to apply it to our weapon. We'll have a divine upgrade path on our weapon by then, and it doesn't allow you to buff the weapon at that point. Alright. Looks like we might end up finishing this as soon as we tackle... Look at this. Are you kidding me? Jeez, give me a break. Looks like we might finish this up right about the time we kill Capra. Nope, missed. I like how we shot this body all the way over here, though. It's quite a distance. It's like he was spring-loaded or something. Maybe we can hit this. Nah, I think they'll be too close. Yeah, they just disabled it just now. Come here, fellas. 1, 2, 3. Alright. I can count. Alrighty then. Anything else we need to do here? No, I don't think so. We're just setting this as our next spawn point in case we die. Or homeward bone. Capra Demon won't be too tough for us for a couple different reasons. Number 1, we have a nice shield. Easy block. Number 2, we've upgraded the shield already. And number 3, we have a good medium armor set. With, I think we have some decent poise. How much do we have? 40. Yeah, 40 is solid poise for Capra Demon. So the dogs will not immediately stagger us. The biggest issue with Capra Demon, I say this all the time, is being staggered by the dogs. So, and we should be able to kill the dogs in one shot, which also helps. So, if you can kill the dogs in one shot and they cannot stagger you in one shot, then you're golden at that point. The Capra Demon really shouldn't be too tough. Unless you just happen to get smashed by him right off the bat and then the dogs start jumping all over you before you can recover. In that case, yeah, I could see it being bad. Wow, that was... Oh my gosh, terrible timing. He could have parried me there, but he chose not to. Oh, I'm not used to that delay on that. Wow. I don't want to bleed here. I gotta be careful. Yeah, he likes to start the fight by tossing one of those knives. I don't know why I wait for them to see if they drop anything. It doesn't matter. We're not going to use it at all. Whoa! What the heck happened there? We sent him... Oh, you know what happened? He jumped and got caught up on the environment. Actually, you know what? Hang on. If there's a summon sign here, let's go ahead and accept somebody. I don't know if it counts for us to have a summon and complete a fight, if that counts towards our total faith requirement to join the Warriors of Sunlight, but since there's already a summon sign here, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to summon. Rather than just drop my summon sign and have no idea if there's anyone even looking for it. Perfect. Okay, hopefully this counts for us towards joining the Covenant. I don't think it does, but then again, I'm not entirely sure, so, you know. In order to make this a super easy fight, I'm going to go ahead and Pine Resin up. This should be no problem. Oh, I didn't get to him in time. Oh, I did! Wow, he's still alive. I got hit. Oh, wow, he missed me somehow. We got him. He's toast. Uh-oh. Oh, he keeps missing me. I think it's the frame rate mod. Oh, I can't get my gesture menu to come up, darn it. I hate when that happens. Yeah, I still can't get it to come up. Yeah, I'm just mashing the button for the gesture menu and it won't come up. There it goes. I hate when that happens. It just gets kind of disabled temporarily for some odd reason. Told you guys that would be easy. Even with the additional health Capra had from the summon, and even with my summon getting his butt kicked at the start of the fight. Actually, before anything else, since we've got a few minutes and not enough time to really get anywhere in the depths, let's drop a summon sign. And hope that we'll get a summon, because I'm pretty sure that didn't count towards our Warriors of Sunlight Covenant requirements. If it did, that would be awesome, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So we'll just drop that there and wait a minute or two until we hit about 45 minutes in the playthrough. But we had a little discussion about frame rate in frames per second in terms of that in your monitor's refresh rate. So in the event that, you know, one halfway decent thing about the 30 FPS that some games get locked at, which I would consider, by 2015 standards, if you're releasing a PC game in 2015 and it's locked at 30 FPS, that is broken. That is just flat out broken. That's like releasing a PC game in 2015 and you can't rebind any of the keys. You can't play with mouse and keyboard, stuff like that. It's just, no, that's like, no, don't, no, just, you released a broken port, fix it. However, the only good news about it is this. Most people who just go out and buy a computer monitor or buy a TV, HD TV, and play on their HD TV, you're going to have 60 hertz as your refresh rate. That's pretty standard. You almost have to go out of your way to find anything higher than 60 hertz. Like if you want to get a 120 hertz, 144 hertz, or 100 hertz monitor, you're going to pay a bit more too. It's going to be significantly more. So if you're just going out and buying a monitor off a shelf somewhere, it's 60 hertz. 30 FPS is exactly half of 60 hertz. So again, that divisible factor that we were talking about earlier. So the 30 would look better than if it were playing at 40 out of 60 because it's not evenly divisible. That even division you want would be, for example, if you have a 120 hertz monitor, 30 is divisible, so is 60. So you would want 60 FPS if possible rather than, you know, say 80 or something of that sort. It does not look like we're going to get this summon in time, but when we come back, we'll probably leave it there for a second or two until we head down into the depths. Once we cross the threshold of the depths, it'll disappear, but hopefully someone picks it up before then. Guys, thanks for joining me for episode number 3 for our Dark Souls Solaire playthrough in 1080p 60 FPS, and tomorrow when next we meet, we'll discuss tomorrow or the next day, whenever this thing gets uploaded. We will discuss some issues dealing with relationships, real life relationships. So until then, guys, later, everybody.